What do you do when the person you love the most becomes the reason you feel completely shattered?
Title: The Surprise. Part 3: The Confrontation. Michael stood outside Tasha's apartment, his heart pounding. The familiar scent of lavender greeted him as he walked in, the same scent that once brought him comfort but now felt suffocating. He didn't bother knocking. She gave him a key, trusted him enough to have that. Funny how trust was so one-sided. Tasha looked up from the couch, her face lighting up. "Babe. You're early." She jumped up, rushing to hug him, but he stepped back, his cold expression stopping her in her tracks. Her smile faltered. "What's wrong, Dee?" He pulled out his phone, scrolling to the photo he took, her and the other man, tangled up in bed, laughing without a care. He didn't plan to take it, but his hands moved on their own, needing proof that the nightmare was real. He held it up, his eyes locked on hers. Her face went pale. Michael. I can explain." "Explain." His voice was cold, controlled, but his fist trembled. "Go ahead. I'm dying to hear this." She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Tears welled up in her eyes, and she reached for him, but he stepped back again, his jaw clenched. Don't you dare touch me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen." Her voice broke, the tears flowing freely now. "It was a mistake. I was confused. I love you, Michael. It was just one time, I swear. One time." He laughed, but there was no humor in it. "I stood there, Tasha. I heard you laughing. I watched him kiss you. Don't lie to me again." She collapsed onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. "I never meant to hurt you. I was scared of losing you." His chest tightened. How could she twist this around, making herself the victim? "You were scared of losing me, so you cheated. You betrayed me, Tasha. You made me feel like a fool. I was stupid. I was selfish. But I love you. I love you more than anything. Please, Michael, we can fix this. We can get past this. I'll do whatever it takes, just don't leave me." She looked up at him, desperation in her eyes. Michael's heart ached, the love he once felt fighting against the betrayal that shattered him. He wanted to forgive her, to believe her words, but the image of her with that man wouldn't leave his mind. He couldn't unsee it. He couldn't forget the pain. He took a deep breath, his voice cold and steady. "You already lost me." He placed the key on the table, his fingers lingering for just a moment before he turned to leave. "Michael, please." Her voice broke behind him, but he didn't stop. He walked out, closing the door softly behind him, the finality echoing in his heart. Outside, the evening breeze hit his face, cold and sharp. He took a deep breath, letting the pain wash over him. It hurt. God, it hurt so much. But he knew he couldn't go back. Not to her. Not to the lies. His phone buzzed, a message from Daniel. "You okay, man?" He stared at the screen, his vision blurring before he blinked the tears away. He typed back, "I will be." Michael walked away, his heart heavy but his resolve firm. He lost the woman he thought he'd spend his life with, but he found something more important, his strength. And with that, he knew he'd survive this heartbreak, one step at a time. The end.